What's going on, friends? Welcome back to another New World video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest developer update. This is from July 2025. We got Katie in the gang. If you guys are out of the loop with New World, previously it was Scott Lane in the gang. Scott has been moved to a different project now. He's most likely working on the Lord of the Rings MMO. That's the general speculation that he's over there. So Katie has taken over development. And so far from this team, we haven't really seen too much. If we give you guys a wider picture of how New World looks, this is the player count right now, 7,000. It's not looking great, albeit we were kind of here this time last year as well. New World seems to go in a cycle of having a relatively big update with, a decent amount of content, and the player numbers do kind of flood in for that. And then they kind of all leave again until the next one. But the good news is there is another update coming. I'm pretty sure they have confirmed it in this video. We do have a roadmap which we got from a few months ago, which did confirm there is a new zone, a new weapon, a new raid, and a bunch of other exciting stuff in the works as well. In fact, we even have some clips lined up of the new zone, new raid, new weapon sort of thing. The new weapon, I know it will be like probably somewhere in the title of this video or something. So far, what we know from it is what Katie's willing to tell us. I'll just play this clip real quick here. Again, this is like an old video at this point.
Is the new weapon. And while I can't say what that is because we want to keep some things a surprise, I will say that sometimes you have to cheer with both hands.
I was so curious.
So there you go, that cheering with both hands. My take is it's probably going to be dual wielding daggers, something with dual wielding. I think that's what she means by both hands or dual wielding pistols. But you guys take it away in the comments. What do you think the next weapon's going to be? But it is good for me to hear that there is going to be a new weapon. Last time we had one was 2023 with the Flail. And I'm hoping that they're going to be talking a bit more about it in today's video, along with the new zone, which again has been confirmed in that same video, that same clip. They did say there is a brand new zone, so it's not going to be like Elysian Wilds where they rework an area. It is going to be a brand new area like Brimstone Sands. So without further ado, let's take a look and see what the next player spike in New World is going to look like, and whether, is this update, this next update that we have coming to New World, is it actually going to hold on to these player numbers, or is it going to be another case where we have like a spike and then everybody sort of leaves again? Let's find out. Let's take a look at the video. If you guys are interested, I'll leave a link in the description down below if you want to watch this video without me yapping over the top of it. But let's see what the Amazon devs are cooking up for the future of New World.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the July developer update. I'm your host, Katie, and I'm here with Dan, JR, and Joel. And we're going to walk you through what's coming out in Season 9. So let's talk Season 9. That's going to be...
Okay, so this is like the next most immediate update. So this is not going to be the big update, sadly. Fingers crossed they are going to talk a little bit about Season 10, I guess. Season 10 would be in line. If we take a look in the game, friends, we can see that Season 9 arrives in 20 days. And then again, a season typically lasts around 3 months. So we'd be looking at the end of October. And yeah, if we go back to our graph, then that would show, this is where we can expect it to be. So October. So yeah, probably Season 10 is the big update. Season 9 is most likely just going to be capture the flag. And I don't know, actually. I don't know what else they have planned in Season 9. It is going to be a bit of a small update, I think. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's going to be some amazing stuff. Let's see what the short term of New World has, and then maybe the long term as well, I guess.
Let's talk Season 9. That's going to be coming out at the end of this month. Super excited for that. And to kick things off, we're going to have in the Season of the Banner, capturing the flag. JR, do you want to walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so we previewed, we did 2 previews of Capture the Flag. One of them just ended, I believe, when this airs. Yeah, so we have 2 separate maps. We're gonna launch CTF with both maps active. They'll be on an hourly rotation, much like our other modes have been. Yeah, so you can look forward to capturing flags as your day-to-day activity in the activities menu. Yeah, some things I guess that we are changing based on the preview was primarily we had some changes to the way that the buffs work. So they're going to be a little bit more effective. And some other random
Those are
changes.
the buffs that you're running around and getting, right? Like that you're running through, they pop, and then you get the...
Yeah, so like the haste, the damage, and...
So I'm maybe going to skip over this section. Capture the Flag, for what it's worth, is a pretty cool game mode if you haven't heard about it. It's going to be queuable, so you just open up the PvP rewards, the activity finder here, and then you can queue for Capture the Flag. It's 10 versus 10. It's pretty fun. Right now we only have Outpost Rush and 3v3 Arena as our instance PvP game mode, so Capture the Flag is a nice in-between where, you know, it's not as intimate, it's not all about PvP like 3v3 Arena where you just gotta kill somebody. You still have an objective, but you don't have all of the overwhelming aspects of Outpost Rush where you gotta worry about Baron and getting the portal and building up the bases and the bridges and everything else. It's purely just killing the enemy, but there is also the idea of grabbing the flag and bringing it back. I think it's pretty fun. One concern that I have with Capture the Flag is right now with the player count being kind of low, finding people to queue up for Outpost Rush and 3v3 Arena and Capture the Flag and then everything else at the same time, I do feel like we are spreading ourselves too thin. But let's keep going through this video. I am going to skip a little bit past Capture the Flag. Again, if you guys are interested in the specifics, I'm going to hopefully jump to the meat, you know, the big exciting stuff that we maybe haven't heard about yet, and just get a general gist of what's going to be in Season 9. Let's jump in and hear what Joel is saying here.
And the Mammoth boss will also return in Season 9. So there'll be more rewards to get, new, and some of the existing 725 gear from those world bosses as well.
Okay, so yeah, this is another thing as well that is coming, I guess. So what they do now is they kind of drip feed content into the game. So we get this idea where we get to preview some content and then it goes away. So you can see with the previous roadmap, we had a preview of Capture the Flag, we had a preview of 3v3 Arena, we had, it's not even really a preview of Expeditions Unleashed, but they're basically just taking dungeon bosses from various expeditions. So I believe so far we've had the first boss of the Ennead, which is Carefree, and then we had the first boss of Empyrean Forge, which is Ifrit or whatever, and we had the final boss of Savage Divide. So they take a dungeon from the boss and then they plop it in the open world. You could say it's kind of lazy. They do have to rework it a little bit and they upscale the rewards. So you'll get some items that you would normally get in the dungeon, but they'll drop at 725. It's like free and easy content. You just take a lot of players, you just get down. It happens 1 week out of every 3 weeks, so it's 1 week of the month where you can basically go find a dungeon boss. But I'm pretty sure that's what Joel's talking about there. Let's keep going.
Nice. And then, I mean, at least for the first part of the season, however long it takes me, I'm spending all that time kind of getting everything I can on my activity cards to keep my season pass popping.
Of course, there's going to be a new season pass as well, new battle pass. I guess we'll see what skins and stuff are available on that.
So what are some of the things that we're super excited to see on the season pass in Season 9?
I'll jump into that first. I've said this a few times, I'm a bit trolly when I play the game, so one of my favorite things to do is jump into emotes. I really like this Valentine's Day outfit we have. It's got these big heart ears. And I wear it around town, and like I was using the Night Vale like creepy crawl emote, but there's a newspaper bonk emote, and I'm gonna run around town and hit people with a newspaper in that outfit because
does it
it's
do
fun.
Damage though?
I don't think it does, but I'll have to double check
well,
that.
Well, that will be the next.
But it's
next iteration.
It's fun to get into weird outfits and just run around town and mess with people and just to see their interactions and see if I can get voice chat with people. And I've gotten it a few times, so I enjoy those types of things.
So what's gonna happen is someone's gonna wave at you and you're gonna bonk them with a newspaper?
Yes, while in the Valentine's Day outfit because that's the best outfit.
Nice.
JR, what are you excited about on the season pass?
I'm super excited about the Fleshbound set because I want to look like this horrific, disgusting thing and like run around.
I didn't do that one.
It's what dreams are made. Okay, so Fleshbound, I love that.
Yeah.
Dan?
It would be cool if they would show some images or footage on the screen so we could see what they're talking about. Because, I mean, they're clearly having fun with it, but I don't have any context. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. So, I mean, we do have some pretty horrific looking skins in New World already. I feel like my Transmog right now looks pretty cool, but I think the skin that he's talking about, the one with the Mickey Mouse ears or whatever it is called, the Fool for Love. Funny enough, we haven't really ever seen this come back to the store because it's pretty Fool for Love hat. Yeah, there we go. Look at this. You can pay money to make your character look like this if you want to. And I bought it because I'm an idiot. Yeah, I guess we got some more horrific skins coming into the game. Fantastic.
What's on the season pass that you're excited to work toward?
Well, I really loved the artifacts that we came up with for the PvP seasonal server, and it's going to be awesome to see one of them come into the main game in the form of the Crescent Wave Greatsword, which is not quite as, it doesn't make quite a statement as much as your choice, JR, but...
But Crescent's Wave was OP. I mean, we might have some footage that we can show on the video here, but holy flip, you do a heavy attack, it costs mana, but it does like... It's like doubles, your Greatsword heavy attack does double damage, and it doesn't do double damage to a single target. It does it in like an AoE. It's insanely powerful. I've assumed they're probably going to be toning it down a little bit for the live servers, because on the PvP server you had like special silly weapons and stuff.
Still love it that I can shoot Zelda things at people, which is great.
It's the light beams that you might have remembered from the Conqueror's items in the seasonal server. It was in Season 7, right? Season 7, seasonal server, yeah. Yep.
And for anybody who's not just absolutely in love with the flesh-bound armor set, I am very excited to see transmog tokens return to the season pass. My girl likes to get outfitted in all the coolest and latest fits, so can't
like flesh-bound.
Okay.
A little bit like that, but not at all. Yeah.
Moving on.
Wait, does that... Hold on. I need to check this real quick. Are we saying there's no transmog tokens in this season? No, there is. What? What's she talking about? There is transmog tokens in the season pass. I don't really understand. Maybe talking about something else? Like in the open world? Let's find out, I guess. I don't know what that means.
Okay, so say I'm a PvE player and I join during Season 9. What does my day look like? What am I doing?
PvP player, you said?
PvE.
Oh, sorry.
I know that you're one check line over here from our combat lead.
So, like I said, Summer Medleyfair is starting in the event in Season 9. You'll be able to jump in, go catch your Aeternum. I can't say that word.
Aeternum sturgeon.
Anyway, catch the fish.
Catch the fish, save the world.
Catch the fish. You're gonna go do fishing for Summer Medleyfair. There's the dance, there's the maudlin bugs for musical instruments. You'll be able to collect a lot of different cosmetics, get some fish trophy in there. Beyond that, there's the world bosses, which have some pretty consistent, I think it's 715 gear, so you'll be able to get those things as they show up, and that's repeatable, and each of those bosses will have one 725 piece of gear, which is unique items that those bosses might have dropped in their specific expeditions, so you'll be able to chase those items. That it will be top tier 725, or at least good based on what they were from those bosses. So those are two of the big things for this season for PvE. Beyond that, we have a couple small little updates. The perks in season that were introduced in Season 8 are going to have a few more places that you can obtain those. So that should feel a little bit better. We know that that was a little bit tight on how to get those, so now it should be a little bit more relaxed. You should see a little bit more, and those prices should drop for those. And then also we have the Gorgon weapon schematics being added to the Gorgon raid. So you'll be able to get those weapons now from patterns, and then crafters will be able to make those as well. So that's another thing to chase too.
So in terms of new content, it's a relatively small amount. You have the boss event, like you said, but that's only 1 week out of a month. So it's only going to be available 1 week in July, and then I guess we have the Summer Medleyfair. So basically, we have the Summer Medleyfair is what he's saying, and then everything else is kind of the same, although there'll be one extra reward you can get from the Hive of Gorgons raid. And that's it, I guess. Yeah, not too much in Season 9 so far. It does seem like they are much more PvP-centric right now, which is an interesting shift. I do feel like for the first few years in New World, we saw them just focus on PvE. You know, all they did was they were doing new expeditions all the time, and then they introduced the mutated expeditions and introduced a new mutated expedition type, and they did the seasonal trials, and they did the soul trials, and they did the sandworm, and more recently we did the Hive of Gorgons, and then realized now they're like, oh, maybe we should do some PvP, and they've just like hard shifted to that. So I guess that's what they're going to talk about next.
We also have 3 2x refining and weapon XP.
Double XP. Let's keep skipping through a little bit, friends, to find the juice.
I'm waiting for it to start, and I think it's a big beat. Is the new arena map is also coming out for real in Season 9. Right. It's going to be part of the rotation as well. Super exciting, yeah. So we're going to have 3 arena maps now in the rotation. Yep. Also, we made one change to the timing of the Ring of Fire, because the whole point of that map was, you know, it's our biggest arena. what we were seeing was a lot of the matches didn't, even though the fire ring was coming in sooner, a lot of the matches, it still wasn't a factor. So we're going to bump it up even further. So it's going to happen like 30 seconds in into the first, each
Probably
round.
good.
Yeah.
So
This map was supposed to favor like ranged more. The way they said it was going to be like more effective for ranged players, but I still felt like it was very melee. And yeah, the circle didn't come in anywhere near fast enough. So it's good to hear that they got that change there as well. So yeah, we got a new 3v3 arena map. We got the new capture the flag game mode. I assume that's coming in. Anything else?
we shipped in, was that in Aeternum?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all the way back in Aeternum, right? For season 6. So we're going to be making some changes in there. Some interesting new mechanic that
They're doing something with the cursed mists. Again, if you guys are like out of the loop, the cursed mist was again added with the new World Aeternum update. Like he says, it's a PvP always on zone. So you go in here and PvP is always active. You are only allowed in here as a solo. You can't go in a group, but people found a way to just group up anyway. They would just, form an unofficial pact and then team up and kill other people. Also, it's really awkward to be in here because the chests take forever to loot, and there's not really anything of value to get in here outside of the gold cursed coconut. Once a week, you can loot a chest and receive the coconut. You can use this to upgrade items, but outside of that, there wasn't really any reason to go in there. You could get doubloons and spend them, but the doubloons had a limited amount you could spend them on as well. So be interested to see if they're going to try and make this content more worthwhile. Let's see what they're doing with it.
we added called the Scallywag's Curse. And the way it works is basically the longer you're in the zone around other players, you start getting stacks of this curse, and it reduces your outgoing damage and increases your incoming damage as well as stamina damage. And so the idea is if you're kind of rolling around in packs, you're gonna have to be aware of this. It's kind of puts you at a little bit as a disadvantage. Maybe helps with some of the grouping up potentially, but we're gonna play with it. There's actually a lot of configs we have for it that we can change things like range and whatnot. So we're gonna be keeping an eye on it and see how.
So it's supposed to be an anti-teaming mechanic, but okay, so yeah, okay, fair enough.
It does, but the reason why you'd want to go back to the FFA zone is because we actually took all the rewards. We doubled the amount of doubloons that you're getting in the zone. All the chest interacts are take half as long as they did before.
That's good.
And then we also did a pass on all of the rewards coming from the doubloon shop, and we increased all the max gear score and min's gear score. So you're going to get better gear overall, and you can go all the way up to 725 more easily.
Oh, okay.
So,
Nice.
There's one other hot topic in the world of PvP.
just combat changes in general.
Haste.
Yes, haste. That's true. Yeah, so haste has become an issue. We've been introducing probably too much haste,
Yeah.
And what we've seen is it's leading to issues with hit registration, and it just messes with a lot of our combat, especially melee attacks and whatnot. So we actually did a whole pass where we reduced haste across the board. We reduced the amount of haste that you can get from status effects in general. The cap is 40%, where it was 50% before. So you're going to see a lot less haste in the game in
Okay,
general.
that's good.
So,
It's actually a really important change because PvP is kind of just silly right now, I mean, if I go up and hit this peacock here, I now have almost the haste cap. I got 20% there, and I've got another 20% here as well, I think. I just had to press one ability, and I'm almost at the haste cap. And I can do that super often with things like these keen speed boots that they added in, that also have another way to give me haste. I've got 2 different types of ways to get 30% movement speed here, and then just in general with the sword skill tree, I've got another 20%, so 50% is the cap, and I could do it super easily with just no effort at all. So I'm glad they're gonna tone that down, because PvP is a little bit silly right now with everybody just zooming around the map. What else do we got? I wanna hear some new stuff.
I hope. Yeah,
We're
sure.
abusing it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to hear the feedback configs, which is our way of changing certain things within the game that we can, flip as needed. So definitely players should continue to reach out on our Discord and in-game feedback and let us know, what's working for them, what's not, and why.
Oh, and also we have 3 new artifacts that we're introducing for Season 9. In addition to, we're also reworking some, and those will be in the patch notes for details. But just to talk about some of the new ones, there was Crescent Wave, which you mentioned, and then there's the Hammer of Yeet, which is based on Ytterson's hammer from the Conqueror's items. So it's like, you know, yeets back your opponent.
It was a fun weapon. Again, it was on the PvP server. You could just knock people back super far. So they're kind of like, yeah, copy pasting some weapons over. I assume they're toning them down. Although I always kind of expected them to do that. You know, the fact that they made completely brand new weapons for the PvP server and then would never use them again seemed like a waste of time. So although it seems lazy that they are not like bringing in new artifacts, at the same time, it's yeah, it saved them just like wasting the effort that they went to with the PvP server, I guess.
That's what I've been saying for years.
I miss when fall damage killed you. I'm probably the only person.
Wow, that's a hot take.
I mean,
That's
it does
a
have
hot
maps,
take.
so like.
Takes all kinds.
Yeah. Yeah, and we also have another one called Plague Herald, which is interesting because it adds like disease to your opponents.
Wow.
So it'll be good for countering some of those, you know, heavy healing
Nice.
situations.
I guess
so,
that's a void gun then?
yeah. Look forward to
Doesn't
trying
even
those
say what
out.
it is.
Some other things to mention, I think. This was an interesting thing we did with the Flail, because like the Flail was a weapon that we introduced a long time ago, back in season 3, like with Rise of the Angry Earth.
That was also the last weapon that we had in the game a long time ago. Yeah, maybe we talk about the next new weapon as well. I'm sorry, friends. I'm starting to doubt whether are they gonna talk about some new stuff. Okay.
And it really, it has been like the least used weapon, like pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
Really?
And it kind of has an identity crisis, because when we were developing it, we were trying to make sure that it wasn't, when paired with like a tanky weapon like Sword and Shield or a healing weapon, you know, life staff, that it didn't like overly, you know, get out of hand balance-wise, right? So we had to tone it back in both aspects, like the tankiness and the life staff, because we didn't know if you were going to pair it with those.
Yeah.
But now we've introduced something where actually we're buffing it in the cases where you don't pair it with a life staff, for example. If you don't pair it with a life staff, it's actually going to do 15% more healing. And if you don't pair it with heavy armor, it'll also do an additional 15%. So.
Nice.
Wow.
And then on the damage side,
Healing with a
if
flail,
you don't
maybe?
pair it with a shield,
That
it
could
will
be
do
interesting.
15% more damage. So we're gonna kind of try this out, see how it feels to pair the flail up with other weapons that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise used it with.
Yeah, so maybe heal.
Hey, if we can actually heal with something other than life staff, that would be cool. I doubt it's going to be strong enough, but you know, life staff being the only healing weapon since the start of the game, the only dedicated healing weapon, that'd be interesting.
There's in tanks when you're going through that M1. Try it out.
Yeah.
Those are a little more forgiving on the mutation side, and we'll see how it goes. That sounds awesome. Great. So it sounds like PvE and PvP, there's something for everybody in Season 9, so it's really exciting. We also have a new OPR map preview. I think this is our only preview in Season 9, and there will be more information on that as we get closer to the preview date, but that's not at the start of it. I think it's closer to the end.
Yep.
And then the other thing is
Okay,
we're going to
that would have been the most exciting thing, but I guess we're not going to get it in this video then.
have a developer Q&A that's going to come out. I think that at the end of this month, people should check Discord and the New World Games subreddit for when some folks are gathering the questions for that Q&A, and that's a video Q&A. I know that sometimes we do the Q&A in Discord itself, but this is the one that we film. So super excited, and I think that wraps it for Season 9.
Okay,
So yeah.
now the new stuff.
So as we
Finally.
do with all of our developer updates, we are now going to show you our updated living roadmap.
Oh,
Should be a real cool graphic while I'm talking. Yes.
next gen Umbrals, endgame progression, zone up level, customizable HUD. Okay, so that all looks the same as what they were working in last time. Let's new zone, new weapon, new heart runes, set bonuses. Set bonuses still in there? Set bonuses, new heart runes. Yeah, it looks to be mostly the same. So yeah, season 9 kind of looking pretty stinky, nothing there. And then stuff that's in exploration, groups in soul trials, raids and expeditions. New travel mechanics. Oh, dude, they get rid of gardening and farming? Ah, rip, guys. I'm afraid if you were looking forward to gardening and farming, they were exploring that. Apparently, they're no longer exploring gardening and farming. Rip, feels bad, man.
So now that you guys have had a chance to look at that, you'll see that in the in development section, we kind of split that out into what you're going to be seeing in season 10. We did that because we're really excited for what's going to be coming out in season 10. And we want
So everything that's in development, we're going to see in season 10. So yeah, we will. Oh yeah, season 10 and beyond. So hold on, I didn't actually read this bit. So in season 10. Wait, so we're not going to have the new weapon in Season 10. We will have a new zone. We will have a new raid. We'll have the procedural. We'll have Endgame progression systems overhaul. No, gem, umbrals. Okay, so these things are not in Season 10 then. Damn, dude. So the new weapon's taking even longer. Man, they feel like they're going really slow. I can only assume that they just have, like, not too many resources to work with, I guess. That's a shame.
graphic while I'm talking what you're going to be seeing in season 10. We did that because we're really excited for what's going to be coming out in season 10. And we wanted you to get excited with us. We'll have more information obviously coming out about those specifics as, again, we get closer to when season 10 releases. But in the meantime, let's do the what's your favorite thing that's coming out that's in development.
I'll jump into that. I think I said it in one of the previous videos, but I really like a lot of the things that we're doing with some of the gear, and you're going to see some pretty big changes, some really good reasons to go chase things, not just in the new content. I think we show a new raid, right? That's not illegal for me to say.
It's not illegal.
It's good. But also making sure that there's good pieces of gear that adhere to these new systems, like set bonuses, like umbrals. A lot of the stuff is going to be upgradable going forward, so you're going to be able to go back to old content as well, like mutations across all three, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to be able to go to Sandworm, you're going to be able to go to Gorgon. We haven't forgot those things. And we're going to be spreading some of the newer gear and chaseables into these areas as well. There's going to be a lot of perk changes and balance changes to go with that, so it's going to kind of mix up the meta and more reasons to go back, not just to the new stuff, but the old stuff as well. So players are really going to have a good time going around and seeing and mixing and matching all of these balance changes mixed with these new systems to kind of find what the new meta shakes out to be. And I think that'll be a lot of content for players.
Yeah, it's going to be good to reinvigorate M3s and reinvigorate.
Oh, not just 3. 1, 2, and 3. You're going to get rewards.
1 and 2 are run pretty frequently.
Sure.
3s are not.
Sure.
I think that the player experience is usually an abandoned vote in an M3. And a lot of that's because the gear chase isn't really there.
Yeah, so M3 is like really difficult compared to M1 and M2. It's like genuinely quite challenging, and yet there's literally nothing, like nothing of value. Like you'd get pretty much the same stuff in M1 and M2. Unless you care about being on the leaderboard, that's pretty much the only reason to do M3. I hope when they're talking about like content, they also forget that they do have like these seasonal trials as well, like the Winter Runeforge and the Hatchery. These are actually pretty cool, and probably nobody ever does them. So hopefully those will get some love as well.
The rewards aren't juicy enough, so it's great to hear that we're going to be making them juicier. Love that. And then same for Sandworm, that we're going to get an update there. Obviously, it's much broader than that, but yes. I think those are things that players have talked about, and when you play, those are things that you see. And for us to be managing that with the upcoming season and beyond is great. I really love that.
There's some other systems that go with it that really couple well too. Is you're going to be able to save your attributes in your different gear slots as well. So it's going to feel like there's a lot of things
Joel,
to chase.
You're only allowed to say one thing that you're excited about.
Hey.
That's how excited we are.
Chase new gear, make mini sets, have a good time. It'll be fun.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Saved attributes to gear sets is going to be excellent. JR, what are you most excited for?
I think I said this last time too. Like the procedural dungeons is like, I think really cool, because it's like, I mean, it's PvE content is really expensive to make, right? Like it takes a long time. It's, we're trying to handcraft everything, and that's cool, like to handcraft content, like you can feel that, right? But at the end of the day, you run out in a couple hours, right? You play all the new content, and then you're done, and then you're waiting for more content.
Yeah, like Tempest Taunt, when they first introduced this, you guys might remember it, like we were like, oh, this dungeon's amazing, the visuals is so cool, it's awesome. But after you do it like, 100, 200 times, you don't even care, you don't even look at anything anymore. So the novelty of something being new just wear off pretty quickly. And I think that's like a wider problem with New World. Like the first time you come into this game, you are blown away with how awesome it is. But then, you know, the that honeymoon period wears off, and the game just doesn't have enough to keep you hooked. So maybe this thing that he's talking about is going to be good for that.
So like the whole promise of the procedural dungeons is we're trying to keep the magic of those handcrafted dungeons that we've been building, right? But in a way that is more evergreen, like that you can just play over and over again. It's different every time, and you're trying to beat your, best times and whatnot. Like I think that'll be really exciting.
I agree. I think that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
Dan, what about you?
And then on the handcrafted side of things, we have a whole new zone coming, and we have a whole new raid. That's 2 technically. Sorry, Katie. But the zone in particular, I can't wait. I can't wait to start sharing. We're gonna have that team that's making it come talk to you all and share what they're working on. I promise you're gonna love it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be-
I want to see it now. We're gonna have to wait like another 2 months or something, man. It's all we got right now is a flippin' summer Medleyfair and what is it? Capture the flag. Like that's it.
It's going to be great.
It's got some of the coolest vistas in our game already. Like our game is already beautiful, and it is just very cool looking.
Absolutely. And I think that the new AI are really exciting too. I think
so many.
I know. I think that's something that players are going to get excited about. I think gearing up and getting prepped for Season 10 during Season 9 is going to be really important, especially for all the folks that recently purchased or purchased last October. Making sure that you're going through and getting the best gear that you can right now so that you can really push through at the start of Season 10. I think for me, you guys took a lot of really great ones. Thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I do every day is I, do my dailies, I start crafting things, I make my prismatics, and I go to my storage shed and I have to go through a bunch of different storage sheds to craft things. And so I use Brimstone as my home base for crafting. It's where all of my discounts are. So I always am going back and forth. I'm moving things between there. Like I keep certain things in weavers. I keep certain things here and there. And so I'll always have to move them. And so what I'm really excited about, and this is something that's in development and not specific to Season 10, but I just want to keep that going because I'm stoked for it, is the global crafting storage. So now, when this goes live, whenever that is, and of course we'll have more information on that when we're ready to say an actual season for it. But I'm really excited to not have to do all that work just to craft my prismatics. But yeah, I'm super excited for that. And then Season 10 is just exciting. So it's essentially me just saying there's stuff like Season 10's super, and Season 9's exciting, Season 10's exciting, and then there's stuff beyond that we can all get jazzed for. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining me here. If you liked the content here, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you joining us, and we will see you in Aeternum.
Well, I don't know, man. Is it gonna... Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have a spike, but is it gonna bottom out again? It's a bummer to see like this stuff is now like separated or whatever. I was kind of hoping it was all going to be coming together, like with the set bonuses and the endgame repetition and the endgame progression systems overhaul. It does seem to be an update, I guess, that's more focused on endgame, which is the one of the the final boss of New World, something that they really need to badly address. I don't know. I can't help but feel like when I was watching that video, I just wasn't getting too excited. Maybe I'm just, in too much of a negative mind space right now. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys are thinking. What do you think about like Season 9, Season 10? The fact that they didn't mention the new weapon in there was a real bummer. I was hoping that we were going to get a new weapon, but I guess it's maybe all of 2025 without a new weapon as well. But yeah, new zone. I guess whenever they're ready to talk about that, or if you guys want to see any particular content on New World, whether it's builds that you're interested in, whether it's more of these just dev review reacts, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Let me know what New World content, if any, you guys want to see. And as always, I'll catch you guys all in the next video.